Well, welcome back to this week's episode of the podcast. We're sorry that we missed you last week. We had some technical difficulties, as you know.
And it wasn't just my fault this time.
Technology is great when it works. It's horrible when it doesn't. So, to recap, we're going to go ahead and just run y'all through everything that we talked about last episode, but there's going to be some different tweaks. You're not going to know the difference because you weren't there for the first one. Yeah. It doesn't matter. But, hi, I'm AnthonysAwesome. I am one of the co-hosts here on Beyond the Controller podcast.
And I am Lynxx, the other co-host on this here Beyond the Controller podcast.
And together, we are the two goofballs who have no idea what we're doing whatsoever.
We're just kind of winging it. Let's
get right into it. Lynxx, you have been back from England for, what, a week now?
Yeah. Yeah, it's sad. I miss London. It was probably one of the best experiences I've ever had.
But I have a question. Is the London Bridge falling down?
It already did.
It did?
Yeah. That's what that means. Do you not know what the London Bridge means? London Bridge has fallen? It means the Queen.
I didn't know if it was... Oh, really?
Yeah. That's the code.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Is that like, what is that movie? Olympus Has Fallen. That's what they call the White House.
Yeah.
London Bridge is interesting. Okay. All right. Well, bridge has fallen.
Yeah. It's been a few months now.
Rip to the bridge.
Yeah. And then I had a big scandal with Google Photos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were so distraught over that, unfortunately.
I was very sad.
I'm going to tell the people what happened.
Double, triple verify. I mean, I did. It doesn't always pan out that way.
Is that like double authentication?
Yeah, like two-factor authentication.
Two-factor authentication?
Yeah. But yeah, I uploaded all of my pictures from England onto Google Photos, and only a small handful of them survived. And it's very upsetting because I had videos of like the people playing music in the underground stations.
Buskers.
Yeah, the buskers in the underground station. I had all types of videos, and yeah, I'm very sad that
but the silver lining here is that you still have some. Well, they may not be all of them. You still have some.
Yes.
So what was it like being in England? I know the last time before you left for the trip, you had talked about wanting to do all of the things Harry Potter that you possibly could fit in.
Yeah.
Did you get to do all the things that you wanted to?
We got to do a fair bit. It was we went to this store called the Noble Collection. They're like the biggest Harry Potter replica store. Like they sell other stuff, but their main thing is Harry Potter replicas. And I got 2 wands while I was there. They're really cool. I got Sirius Black's wand and the Elder wand.
Which, by the way, did you end up actually getting my thing that I asked you on like your very last day there?
It's actually right here.
Can I see it?
Yeah, it's in a bag. It's gonna be really crinkly.
It's okay. We can. Ooh, it's a fancy blue bag. Is this the ASMR part of the stream or podcast? All right, you can stop that.
Here is your shot glass from England.
I love it. Can I just say how much I appreciate you, y'all?
You know how hard this was to find?
I'm so hard. That looked like a duty-free bag. Did you get it from the duty-free store?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You don't know what a duty-free store is?
No.
It's they don't collect tax on it. So sometimes you can get like alcohol and stuff, but when you get to the point of going through customs, stuff that you get duty-free can actually be what's the word, taken from you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So that's a little fun fact. But yeah, so y'all, I appreciate this man because first of all, he kept our snap streak while he was across the Atlantic.
Of course.
Like, appreciate this man.
But
not only that, he was across the pond. Not only that, but this dude, I think it was the day before he was leaving or the day he was leaving, one of the two. And I was like, can you get me a pint glass, a shirt, something? Like, please, anything. I'll pay you back.
It was the day before.
And he was like, it's going to be a little tight, but I'll do whatever I can.
Yeah. Because I was also looking for a pin for my backpack, for my camera bag. Because on my camera bag, I've got this pin right here that's Colorado. And then now I got a little London badge. And I'm just going to, when I go places, I'm just going to collect badges or pins. And
Do
then
you
put 'em
have
on
to
my
go
bag.
there, or can I buy you one from Michigan?
I have to go there.
All right,
That
so
is-
what I'm hearing is you need to fly up here to Michigan to visit me so we can get you a pin.
Yes. That is a rule that I'm keeping with myself, is that I have to be at that location.
Okay.
That'd be a cool little thing to make a story out of,
Yeah.
Adds,
I mean,
adds character.
you've got plenty of character in and of itself. I've not been up to anything really cool like going to London or England. Haven't really done a whole lot. Been working a lot, honestly. Been hanging out with my friends, my fam, my roommates. We got to go and see a movie called Jesus Revolution,
Okay.
which was about this Jesus movement that happened in like the 60s ish with hippies and like the church and thing, whatnot. It's actually really good. Like, it was really, really good for it being a religious based movie. Like, I really enjoyed it a lot.
You know what movie was really good?
What?
Scream 6.
Oh God, I want to see that. So speaking of Scream 6, what's the script? One of the folks that we're gonna be recognizing tonight did a movie review of the previous Scream films leading up to Scream 6. So shout out to What's the Script. They're a fantastic podcast. They are two goofy dudes from Scotland, I believe, that are just a fun time to listen to. Their banter is fantastic. It reminds me a lot of you and I, if I'm being completely honest. It's a fun time.
Very nice.
So if
I
you
still
haven't
need to go through this list and listen to the podcasts.
Yeah, if
I
you
haven't
haven't
gotten
checked them
around
out, I highly recommend it because they are so funny. I enjoy that. I just like the banter that they have is similar to what you and I've got. And it's a fun time. But yeah, I've not been up to a whole lot. Been doing a lot of streaming, a lot of GTA RP. What I've noticed is my GTA RP streams get the most views, and I think that it's nice because it's a different interaction. You know, people, as opposed to playing with friends all the time, you're actually playing with new people every interaction that you get. So you never know what kind of things you're going to run into, and you never know what kind of situations, scenarios. So I technically play 3 characters. I'm a medic, I'm a lieutenant for the San Andreas Medical Services. Then I'm senior officer for the LSPD in another city. And I'm also an attorney and a realtor in that same city. So I play 2 characters in one. And it's funny because whenever the chief sees my... Yeah, whenever the chief sees my attorney walk in, he's like, "Oh shit, here comes Maverick! Like somebody, like I'm sick. Don't let him talk to me. I'm not here." But it's a fun time. Like I've been enjoying that. My dad's flying up here this weekend of April 1st, so we'll be hanging out. I'm gonna be working all week, so we'll find time to hang out and do things. But he's flying up here from Texas to come and visit me, so I'm super excited about that. But yeah, other than that, nothing too much going on in my life right now besides work, streaming, being with friends and family, and it's just about it. So we want to recognize some folks that have been absolutely slaying the game when it comes to supporting us. Y'all have been incredible all throughout. But to name a few folks, Chat Tsunami has been amazing on Twitter, engaging with our tweets, showing the love, and just kind of spreading the news about who we are here at Beyond the Controller podcast. I always mix those two up for some reason. What's the Script? Again, funny guys, great chemistry. Highly encourage you to check them out. I watched them for actually their Olympus Has Fallen video. With what's his name? The main character, Gerard Butler.
Oh, I thought Denzel Washington was in there too. Is he? I might be thinking of something else.
I don't remember. But no, it wasn't Olympus Has Fallen. It was The Law Abiding Citizen. That episode. Yeah, The Law Abiding Citizen was the episode that I listened to with Chat's the Script, and honestly, it was a pretty good episode. Just the banter between the two of them is phenomenal.
Chat's the Script?
What's the Script?
Oh God.
What? Did I fuck it up?
And it all crumbles down. Yeah. I'm recording, Jackson. Scared the shit out of me.
But no, what's the script and listening to their law-abiding citizen episode was phenomenal just because of the banter. They go through it kind of like scene by scene episode or like episode by episode kind of series, the way that they take it. So it's a very detailed approach, but I didn't feel like I was listening to a podcast that was like an hour and a half long just because of the way that they kept the flow. It was very natural, very just like conversational, you know? And then, of course, gotta give this personal shout out to Mama Barracorn, aka Michelle. Michelle has been just blowing up the comments over on YouTube. Shameless plug, go subscribe to our YouTube channel. Check out our videos because watching us interact is a little different than watching or listening to us.
Yeah, I think it's a lot better visually.
There's some things that you miss out on.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Absolutely.
But yeah, so just wanted to show some love there and just say thank you all to those folks, first and foremost, and everybody who's been helping us out. Do you want to talk about the next piece?
Yes. We want to thank y'all from the bottom of our hearts for the 78 starts, the 50 streams. We have 20 listeners and 17 followers on Spotify.
17 followers for a new podcast that's only been around for like a month, and we've been on bi-weekly is just mind-blowing.
It's insane.
So thank you.
Yes, it's amazing. We're up to 9 subscribers on YouTube, which is also just, it's an amazing feeling to see, people subscribing, wanting to see more of this.
Yeah, and I think that you and I, when we first started this as an idea and concept, we didn't think that it would go anywhere realistically. Yeah. Like we were just like
we're just gonna see what would
spitballing
happen.
And just trying it out.
Yeah.
And so it's been a lot of fun to engage in those conversations and kind of see how people are interacting with our Twitter and just overall enjoying the content as a whole. But that being said, today's topic is all about collaborations, and it's we're titling this episode Collaboration Conversation, because you should always have a conversation about collaboration before you collaborate. And there's many reasons why.
It's a lot of collaboration in that sense.
Collaboration, communication, baby. That's the way we do it.
Communication, not collaborations, before collaborations even take place.
During the conversation,
During
it's
the
collaboration.
Of collaboration.
We're gonna mess somebody up so bad just by that. So let's first talk about. I said about like I was from Minnesota. Did you hear that? Let's talk about. Not that there's anything wrong with anybody from Minnesota or Canada. But just saying.
We love our Canadian listener.
We do, because we have 3 Canadian listeners.
3 Canadian listeners?
We have 3 Canadian listeners. Fun fact.
Oh.
Don't you know? Sorry,
Let's
I couldn't
go for a
help
rip.
myself.
I'm just kidding.
Go give your balls a tug, Shorzy. Sorry, I couldn't help. Anyway, fucking figure it out.
Love Letterkenny.
But so when you're starting to develop relationships and collaborations and trying to figure out who you want to do a collab with, it's important to realize who are your options, right? So I think, first and foremost, this podcast in and of itself is a pretty good example of, that was very Texan of me, it's pretty good. It's pretty good example of collaboration, because you and I...
making fun of all the dialects today, bro.
Listen, we're not going to be able to get through this without making some kind of dialect joke.
Let's go for a rip. It's pretty good.
Better patter.
Pitter patter.
But so one of the things that I appreciate about the fact that we're doing this podcast together is that you and I are essentially doing a collab here and now, because we are partnering on this content, on this podcast, and putting it out together. You're doing the tech side of things, the editing. I'm doing the social media, the networking. But we've got kind of a structure and a plan in place to a degree, right? And so I think you have to look at your circle first and start with your friends, in my opinion.
Yeah, friends are the easiest to collaborate with, in my opinion. And I feel like, since there's already a relationship there, it kind of goes along a lot smoother than, say, someone you don't know that you're just getting good with, I guess. You know what I mean?
Building those small networks.
Yeah.
And I think that ties in hand with the fact that like you and I met through a collaboration stream.
Yes.
Like we were on. So last episode, if you listen to our podcast with Bree's Gaming Story, we talked about the origin of Dylan and Anthony,
Yes.
where
The legendary.
the legendary rogue elves, when
Yes.
with one half elf that doesn't know how to be a proper rogue. We were invited to participate in a D&D stream with a good friend of ours, and through that mutual relationship, Dylan and I really got to get to know each other. We started texting on Snapchat, and then we shared our phone numbers, and we just kind of got to know each other.
Mm-hmm.
And then back when we met in December, we really had this idea of let's start a podcast.
Yeah.
But in reality, our origin started with a collaboration with somebody that you and I both knew. And I think because of that mutual relationship, it was easy for you and I to start to form our own little relationship and bond.
Yes.
So
Absolutely.
that this felt like a seamless kind of, okay, let's do it,
Yeah.
versus like, do I really know this person? Do I know their character? Do I know what they stand for and how that could impact my social image?
Yeah, and we've been collaborating like here and there, and like just building our relationship over this 2 years now, 3, almost
3 years.
Damn, that's
Yeah,
wild.
it'll be 3 years this August, because that's when we started the
Yeah.
D&D streams.
Dang, yeah. So building our relationship over these 3 years, I think we should. I think we're on the right path.
I agree. The other piece of it too is, going off of the collab stream there with Eli, community members.
Yes.
Right. So I have community members like Sarah Ellie or Stealthy Sloth. You've met Stealthy. Stealthy comes in during the Phasmophobia streams and
Okay.
has like all of the money.
Yeah.
And she's just kind of chilling there.
Oh,
And then
that's
Sarah.
okay. Yeah.
Yep. And then Sarah Ellie comes through when I used to play a lot of Fall Guys. So
Okay.
you can essentially collaborate with community members, with stream teams. Like I'm a member of the Vice Gang stream team, and if I wanted to, I could ask some of them to collab with me because we have that established relationship to a certain degree, And then there's also charity streamathons, which I know you haven't heard of,
Yeah, no,
but
I-
essentially a charity streamathon is when you have a schedule set together with a team of streamers from all over the world, because you really want to have people who are streaming at different hours of the day, different time zones and such. So what you do is you take the community that you have, you raid the streamer on the schedule, and then they continue to take those people wherever the next schedule takes them, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So that's how I met Jake David BTG. That's how I met The Real Imaginary. That's how I met Peekaboo. Like I've met a lot of content creators through charity streamathons or just streamathons in general that are trying to do better for community organizations or for charities. And so those are some really easy ways to not only build friendships and connections and networking, but it's also a really good way to see who else is out there that you might want to collaborate with again in the future.
Yeah. Absolutely. That kind of ties out our God damn it.
So you
I'm
just
just
did a
off.
collaboration with your mentor recently on a video shoot, right?
Yes. Yeah, I just did that this weekend. That was a lot of fun. For those
I know that you've been looking forward to that too.
I have.
So give us a little background. How did this come about?
So for those that don't know, I am a videographer and photographer outside of Twitch and YouTube stuff that I hardly ever do. But yeah, I'm a photographer and videographer, and I started making these videos called Making It Sexy. And I did.
You can make anything sexy except those shorts you're wearing tonight.
All right, dude, they're not that bad. No one even sees them.
You want to show the audience what you're wearing? Remember, only 9 people are gonna see them because there's only 9 subscribers.
I guess.
For those of you who are listening currently, make sure you head over to our YouTube channel. He is showing the shorts that he has decided to pair with this amazing
decide. I've been
graphic,
cleaning today.
red distressed shirt. It's a great shirt, but his shorts are what kill it for me, and not in a good way.
Yeah, No,
Yeah, you
'cause
can you can sit down now.
I've been cleaning today, so
So that's your cleaning fit.
I just got hot, so I threw on shorts.
I mean, you're always hot, but
Oh, stop.
it's just me trying to make you as red as your beanie. That's all it is. Do I
But-
make you nervous, baby?
Yeah, you're getting me flustered.
So talk to us about your mentor.
Okay, so I made these videos called Making It Sexy, where I started with a bottle of honey, went to Red Bull, and my mentor messaged me, and he said, "Hey, you're taking a interesting approach to this type of content. I would love to collaborate and make something with you." And immediately I was like, yes. I was like, let's do it. So I met up with him on Saturday, and it was great. He showed me all of his camera gear. He works at now the #1 film school in Texas. Yeah.
Wow.
He's the highest paid teacher in that school, including the principal. Yeah, because he wins. He's good at what he does. Very smart. Giant of a man. He's massive.
I mean, you're not very tall to begin with.
Oh, I'm like 5'10".
You said you baby.
He's like
It's
6'7".
Oh, damn.
Yeah, he's huge. But no, yeah, we just kicked back, talked, reminisced about our classes and stuff. It was a lot of fun. And then we got to work, got amazing shots. I'm going to be editing those this week.
Was it whiskey or gin?
It was Michelob Ultra.
You missed the joke.
Huh?
You got some amazing shots.
Oh.
Bro, that was a joke wasted on you.
Oh my God, my mom just texted me.
What'd she say?
Okay, I lied to y'all. I'm 5'9".
About?
I'm not 5'10".
You're how tall?
5'9".
How are you 5'9"? I'm 5'9". Your mom's lying.
No, I went. Okay, so I went to go donate plasma, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I was a broke boy. They measured me. I'm 5'9". I don't know if they rounded down.
Can you tell your mom that I love her? Please.
Anthony,
Don't
loves
yell
you.
it.
I'm yelling.
Why would you yell it?
Um.
Hopefully she texts back. I love him too.
Yeah, but on my ID it says 5'10".
All right. Well, we'll go by your ID then.
Okay, we're going by my ID. Leave me alone. I just heard a laugh. But
It's all right. Your height is a joke, so that's okay.
Okay. Thanks. But no. Yeah, we just reminisced about our classes and stuff, and then we went to work, got some amazing shots of Michelob Ultra. He wants to do it again. He wants to make this like a regular thing, which I am down for, because I mean
experience and exposure.
Well, and I get to use all of his fancy, nice camera gear.
So you're kind of weaving out a little bit.
Oh. He let me use this lens. It is magnificent. It is amazing. He has 2 lenses that I really want. One,
They're probably both like $1,000 a piece.
the one that I used the first time is an 85 millimeter lens with a f1.4.
All right, you're speaking numbers to me, and that doesn't translate to my brain.
For those that understand cameras. Okay, well, so an f.
What about for those that don't understand
So
cameras?
f1.4 is the focal range or focal length. So if I have it set on 1.4, like you see how blurry my background is?
Uh-huh.
My f is set to 4. That's basically just kind of the blurriness of the background. So like say that it's a 1.4, the f would be extremely blurry behind me, but only have like my face in focus. So if I move back a little bit, bam, I'm blurry. But if I'm like right here, I'm like perfect. Like you could see like the hair, the peach fuzz on my face.
Because that's all you can grow.
That was unnecessary. That was not necessary.
Love you.
Anyways, yes, I really geeked out over.
Well, I'm
these
not
lenses.
gonna say it back. Rude.
I love you too. The other one he had, it's a lens about that big around.
But it's never mind.
It's about that long. Or no, I'd say a little bit longer. Like
Some be wishing.
right? But no, it's about that long, and we put it inside of the can. Like I cut the bottom off and we put it inside the can, and it watched the beer pour out.
Putting it inside the can, eh?
Oh my god! It's
sounds
not
like a
sexualized
bad-
camera stuff that I'm actually geeking out about. But yeah, no, it was an amazing time. I had a freaking blast.
Well, I'm glad that you were able to, do that reconnecting and
Absolutely.
really be able to share that experience, and that something else is coming out of it.
Yeah.
That's the beautiful thing about collaborations, is that you never know how much further that relationship can go until you've taken the chance. Now, obviously, you want to make sure that there are a couple of things that you do when preparing for a collaboration.
Yes. Yeah, we kind of got everything together last minute. Like I went and met him at the school, and we were just kind of putting stuff on the cart to wheel out to his truck, and he forgot the plates for his tripods to put on his camera so he could like attach to the tripod. He forgot those. All the lighting was kind of scattered everywhere. We were trying to scramble to get all that around. It was kind of a shit show, but it was on both of our parts because my little monitor that I have was not charged. And then, what else did I forget? Oh yeah, my computer wasn't charged, so I wasn't able to get the footage until I plugged it in. It was fun.
You know what you can do to avoid all of that? Having a pre-check checklist
Yeah.
to ensure that you have everything you need, not only for preparing to depart to your shooting location or to your streaming location,
Yeah.
but ensuring that technology is working appropriately. Like take tonight, for example, right? So part of what the issue was in our previous podcast episode was his camera audio was being picked up from his OBS, and the OBS wasn't picking up the mic camera or the mic audio. And so tonight what he did was a pre-check. He pre-checked to make sure that all of the audio was being fed into the proper input and output. So had you done a pre-check and had he done a pre-check, you'd know exactly what you need to prepare. Right? I know that when we get ready to record this podcast, my pre-check is to pull up our episode outline. It's to make sure that I have everything set properly. I am going to come through this frickin' screen and choke the living life out of you.
I kind of just go with the flow, I just kind of do everything last minute.
Okay, should we talk about what happened when we recorded Breeze Gaming Stories bonus content
That
with
was tough.
no plan and flew by the seat of our pants? Which, by the way, that content is still not up.
Yeah, I know. I'm scared to edit it.
Why?
Cause
Because of the thing?
yeah.
Or because of what?
It was, I don't know. We'll talk about it later.
All right, bet.
But yeah, no, I still do need to edit that. I've just been so busy. Like today is the only day I've actually been able to like sleep in because we didn't have work today. They
Oh, that's
canceled
nice.
work.
I also slept in today because I worked for like 7 hours yesterday.
I woke up at 7 this morning, got the text that we're not coming in, and then fell back asleep and woke up at 1 o'clock this afternoon.
I woke up at 8:30 because I had a meeting at 9, and I had to be there for that. So,
Yeah.
but I did leave an hour early before work ended today. So,
Yeah,
But-
today's been like the one day I've actually gotten to like relax and just,
must be nice.
it was bliss.
But so, let's talk about our pre-checks no plan with Breeze bonus content, shall we?
Yeah, you definitely want to get an outline together before you start recording something,
And why is that, Dylan?
so you have a plan.
but also
I don't know. I'm new to this. All right.
so you don't look unprofessional and uncoordinated.
Yeah, it was very unprofessional and uncoordinated.
To be completely honest, folks, so when Dylan and I started doing this, we had some conversations about just the way that we were rolling with certain things. And one of those was he thought my idea of doing an outline was a little funny because he was like, oh, I just, go with the flow. I just go with whatever comes my way. And I'm
I
like,
didn't say the whole outline. I said as much of the outline as we have. Like, my idea was like minimum outline, but just kind of go with the flow.
Yeah, minimal outline still sent us down a hole of just awfulness. So my favorite part about this entire experience is that Dylan got to experience firsthand what happens when we don't have at least some kind of guide on how to set ourselves up properly.
Scary.
Because if you compare our pilot episode to episode 2 and beyond, we sound exactly like we know what we're doing. We sound coordinated. We sound like we have a flow. But if you listen to the bonus content on YouTube when it goes live, girl,
it's pretty rough.
we literally told Bree, we are so sorry because this is so disorganized and chaotic for us.
And also, like, during that filming, I was at the point where I was miserable because of my sunburn that I had.
Yep.
I was sweating. My face was
you had to take a break to go and get an ice cold rag to put on your face.
Yeah. I was
fortunately that segment was only like 30 minutes long.
Yeah.
Fortunately.
Yeah. It was tough.
To get back to where we were, having your pre-checks is important because you can make sure your equipment works properly, but you also want to have that communication in place, right? So your mentor reached out to you. Mm-hmm. Eli reached out to all of us, but then he did something even more important. He coordinated the logistics of everything, making sure that everybody had their online dice roller, making sure that everybody's character sheets were already set up before we actually ever entered into the game. And that was your first time playing D&D too, wasn't it?
Ever.
First time ever, and steps on the creakiest goddamn board in the fucking house.
I always get bad luck whenever I try something the first time.
Not only did you step on it once, but you stepped on it twice. And then you shoved your foot into a blade of nails.
A blade of nails?
Remember the raining nails that were, or knives?
Yeah.
That spell that was cast, and you just like shoved your foot right in it. You're like, this is a smart idea. Thunk. Thunk. So bad.
That was a lot of fun.
And then you and I also, for our podcast, we've started to coordinate logistics.
Yeah.
We have our regularly scheduled meeting to talk about, identifying the topics that we're going to cover, making sure that we have an outline, wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Whatever.
But, so, I got to ask you being a go-with-the-flow kind of guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
How do you keep it together for yourself, for your own stream, your own content, when you're not collaborating with anybody else?
I don't. I just chill, game. Whatever happens, happens. Like my main thing, like whenever when I do stream, and if it's by myself, which is hardly ever just myself, I'll just chill. I'll talk more than I usually do when I'm not streaming and playing a game by myself. I don't know. I just kind of go with the flow. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it.
Until somebody comes in and is like, bro, your mic is really quiet compared to your game.
Yeah, that's happened.
Not saying I've done that, but
yeah.
I may have done that.
Yeah. Which, I just had no idea. Even you have that little bot that goes through and like, hey, is the audio off?
Mm-hmm.
I probably need
because the other thing too is like when you think about lurkers want to have a reason to chat. And so if you ask that kind of question of how's my audio and video quality, that gives them a reason or something to respond to.
Yeah.
Which is kind of nice, And so like having something like that where they can feel less pressure, or if they're not sure what to chat about, they have that as an option. But I think the biggest thing is you want to make sure that you're giving enough notice, right? So like we did a collaboration with Breeze Gaming Story. I coordinated with her about this about 2 weeks out and kind of gave her a rough idea of what we were going to be talking about, kind of what the expectations would be in terms of how the conversation might flow. And then when we finally got everything set up and squared away, like we were set to go. And she actually complimented on us, on our organization, I should say, that it was one of the better organized podcasts that she'd been a part of. Yeah. And so, you know, that's a huge compliment to us.
Exactly. Yeah. No, it's a good feeling having someone from the outside telling us that we're doing a good job.
It really is. And I mean, Bree's great, and Bree will tell you like it is. Like Bree don't Bree don't hold back no shots, honestly.
She did call me ugly, so.
She did call you ugly. You are correct. It's okay. You're cute to me.
That's all that matters.
The other piece, so planning, right? Yes. Communication. How did you and your mentor start coordinating? I think you said he sent you a message, right? Was it on Instagram?
No, it was a Facebook Messenger because we're friends on Facebook.
Oh, okay. Did you post the video on Facebook too?
Yeah.
Boomer.
I posted.
Just kidding.
Well, I mean, I just have it auto upload to Facebook whenever I post them.
I'm kidding.
Whatever. So, yeah, he messaged me on Facebook. Or no. I saw on TikTok that he had viewed or watched one of my TikToks. It wasn't the honey.
Isn't that creepy? How you can now see people who like view your TikTok, and if they.
It is a little creepy. But
my partner sometimes watches or views my TikToks but doesn't like them.
Exactly.
I'm just like
what the hell?
Yeah, what are you doing?
Exactly. And that's what I did to him. I saw him and he didn't like it, so I was just messing with him. I'm like, yo man, why are you gonna watch my TikTok but not like it? And so he went through my.
You don't even read my messages.
Huh? I read your messages.
Anyway, continue.
He's like, sorry, I'll do better. And I was like, yeah, you better. And then he came across my honey one. He's like, I really like the honey one. Like, you're taking an interesting approach, yada yada. And so we went through and we like tried to determine like what day we could do it. And then we finally worked out the weekend. I came out and set a time to where we we're gonna try and finish up. And yeah, that was it. And we kind of just went in there with a blank slate, just seeing what we could come up with.
So y'all did all the brainstorming and stuff day of?
Yeah.
God, that stresses me out.
Which, I mean, it's because like we weren't 100% sure what we were going to do, but I had a case of Michelob in the back of my car that's been in there since New Year's.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, it was
Please
gross.
tell me you threw that away.
I drank it.
You're disgusting.
I drank some of it. It was gross. It was awful. Well, like we were using it to film with. So, yeah, he saw that in the back of my car. He's like, "Why don't we just do the Michelob?" I was like, "I'm down, whatever." And so we just like, there's like a few shots that I had in my head that I wanted to do. But other than that, it was just kind of throwing it together, see what happened.
I mean, I think that there's something to be said about doing a collaboration that's more of an artistic thing versus something that has a little bit more of a structure to it.
Yeah.
Because artistry, videography, photography, you can take so many different approaches to it.
Yeah.
When you're coming up with something like a specific topic that you're talking about, like what we are tonight with collaborations, you know, there's not as much wiggle room for that flexibility, if you will. And so I think that artistry and things that have a little bit more flexibility, you can kind of fly by the seat of your pants with. Things like what we have discovered when we did the bonus content. We can't fly by the seat of our pants because then we don't really know what we're looking for. We don't know how to quickly reset ourselves because we recorded that very shortly after we finished recording that episode. But we didn't have an outline. We didn't have any kind of direction or guide or how to choose the clips or how to show the clip. Like, there was so much that we could have done ahead of time.
Yeah.
But it's a lesson learned, right? I mean, That's the biggest thing is, like, taking the lessons that you learn from situations and how do you grow from those. And so, for example, last week, we had the technical issues. rather than stressing you out, stressing me out, we're just like, you know what, we're going to push it back. And that's okay, because we kind of already have an idea of what we're going to talk about anyway. We've done it. It's not going to be perfect, but it'll still be us giving our best.
Exactly. Yeah. No, yeah. I think at the end of the day, that's all that matters. That, you know, me and him gave it our best. We got some pretty cool stuff from it.
Yeah, the Michelob Ultra video, like that was pretty sick. Not gonna lie, I enjoyed watching that little preview, a little sneak peek.
Yeah, and that's just one of the clips. Some of the other clips are amazing.
So how many cans of Michelob did y'all go through?
6 or 7.
Damn.
Yeah.
Love to see it.
Yeah, we went through a lot.
Let's see.
And also, it pays to know people, right? Because the restaurant that I used to work at in Nocona, the town that I was in, I called them and asked for a beer glass and, like, asked if I could borrow it. And they're like, yeah, duh. So I just took it to the studio. And then after we were done, I just ran it back.
Very
nice. People. We needed one. Got it.
It does pay to know people, and especially when you're looking at the industry and when you're looking at, you know, who knows who knows where.
Yeah.
Right? I think that there was a situation on our Twitter where somebody was asking about collaborations and if we'd be interested, and they're kind of a gaming and anime type podcast and discussions, and went through, looked at the list of potential topics, and just kind of told them, like, hey, really appreciate you reaching out to us. We're really excited about what you're doing. We've reviewed the list of topics, but unfortunately, at this time, I don't think that we're going to be able to add anything to what you already have planned. But if you have anything that comes up in the future, like, please keep us in mind. We're happy to collaborate and connect.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think that it's all about building those relationships and not closing those doors, but letting them know professionally, like, hey, I appreciate you reaching out. I think that the Grimm show, right?
Oh, yeah.
The Grimm podcast, when I reached out to them, they're like, you know, things are a little busy right now. I don't think we can really commit to a collaboration, but there's potential for it in the future, because they said, you know, keep us in mind if something else comes up. And I think that there's something to be said about the way you ask people, yes. Right? So I shot the Grimm podcast a DM and kind of introduced myself, introduced our podcast, and said, here's who we are. Here's why I think we would be able to do a really good collaboration based on what you shared, right? This other podcast reached out to us in our DMs because we had engaged with their tweet. There was a pre-established relationship that had occurred. There had been a previous interaction beyond just, hey, we should do a collaboration.
Yeah.
Or, you know. So I think that there are some do's, like we've discussed. Yes. There's also some don'ts. Yes. One of those being a cold contact, in my opinion. If you just reach out to somebody via DMs and ask for a collaboration with no introduction, you just say, hey, we should collaborate. Or, hey, do you want to be on my podcast? Hey, do you want to follow my stream? Whatever. YouTube. It could be anything. If there's no pre-established connection, or you don't even start with an introduction, you're setting yourself up to be rejected.
Yeah.
Very quickly.
I think that might vary in different niches of the podcast world. So, like, if it's like like my mom was a part of a podcast interview. She didn't know who they were, but they were a like-minded podcast, and they wanted to interview her. So and like she got a cold message like that.
But did they introduce themselves?
Oh, probably.
That's my thing. Like,
okay.
if you just request the collaboration or request the partnership with no introduction to who you are, like if you sent me, hey, I think we should stream together, but you haven't told me who you are, you haven't told me what kind of content you produce, you haven't really told me anything about you,
right.
I'm going to feel less inclined to want to collaborate with you, because this is a cold request coming out of nowhere. I know little to nothing about you.
Yeah.
And you're essentially putting the work on me to research you, which I'm going to research you at the end of the day regardless, to make sure that our views and values align. But if you just send me a message, hey, we should collab sometime, I'm going to have my skepticism.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of those iffy little roads that, you're gonna run into. But yeah,
I think it's all about the approach.
yeah, it is definitely all about the approach.
I think the other thing too is life happens.
Yes.
Plans change. I mean, shit. When we were talking about reshooting, you had a really tight schedule last week.
Yes, I've become really busy. I don't know if I like it.
You were the one who was complaining about always having time on your hands.
I know, and then now I have hardly any.
No, what must that be like considering?
Considering what?
I don't know.
I don't know what you're trying to get at.
I don't know what you're trying to get at. But
I'm going to take it as rude. I
what
feel like that's
mean?
what you're trying to get across.
What do you mean? I don't know what you're talking about. I genuinely don't know what you're talking about. Why are you giving me this look?
Mean. You're being mean.
What? How am I being mean?
I don't know.
How?
But you're being mean.
If you can't prove that I'm being mean, am I actually being mean? I'm not being mean. I'm just saying
I don't know.
that you're
it's
like.
a good thing. It's a good thing to be really busy. But
Yes.
it's also just a lot.
It is. It's mentally and physically taxing.
Yeah, I went from literally having an open schedule all the time to now it's full. Like.
Yep. I feel that in my bones
Like,
every
I forgot,
single day.
I forgot what it was like to just lay in bed and do nothing. And it was bliss today.
You're a big boy now.
I know. It's tough.
Yeah. I need an adult. Living the adult life is hard.
Yeah.
But all that to be said, plans change.
Yes.
Talk to your people. Let them know what's going on in your life so that way you're not canceling on them at the last minute. And if you have to cancel on them at the last minute, that's also okay. But again, make sure you communicate that with them. They'll appreciate it, even if it's the last minute. Because the worst thing you could do is cancel and have no communication whatsoever and just ghost the person. Not necessarily because you meant to, but because stuff's happening at such a rapid pace that you don't have the capacity to do so. Right? Take some time, follow up with them, make sure that they know you're okay, and go from there. Because the biggest thing is, communication is key in these collaborations. It's important, especially because if you don't communicate, you're not going to have a successful collaboration.
Right. Yeah. No, communication in any form is key. Are you trying to figure out what it is?
Is that a fucking triceratops?
Is that a fucking triceratops? Yeah.
Just couldn't see it. It was blending in with your head.
His name's Ernie.
Very cute. Hello, Ernie. Welcome to Beyond the Controller.
Hope
you enjoy listening to the nonsense.
This is our new mascot. that or Pickett.
I prefer Pickett.
Yeah?
Pickett's cuter. Can't even see Ernie.
Yeah, you can.
Barely.
Now
you can.
He's there.
In spirit. But not in truth.
Oh, no. I'm looking right at him. So it is in truth. He's there. See?
The other thing that you don't want to do, which I will say I have done a lot of tonight, is dominate the conversation.
Yeah.
And I feel terrible about that.
It's so annoying. How do you like it, huh? Being mean to me. Nah.
Listen, I admitted that I was dominating it.
Yeah, but you also are a better talker than I am, I'm the comedic
No.
relief.
What do you mean I'm the better talker? We've had this discussion before, too.
Oh, you're just a better talker.
It just doesn't make sense.
It makes sense to everybody else.
Nobody has commented on our YouTube page about it. Nobody's commented on Twitter about it. Bree said it very apprehensively.
She's like, "Oh, yeah, I can see that."
She said it apprehensively. That doesn't count. It was an apprehension.
No, it counts.
It was an apprehension. Here's what we'll do
when we on 2 occasions.
On 2 occasions?
2 occasions.
But it was the same podcast episode, so that can't count.
2 occasions.
Has she listened to any of the other episodes to verify if that is still true?
No, because I haven't forced her. The first time I
So you're
forced her.
saying your mom won't listen unless you force her? Are we
Well, I mean,
not
it's just not
entertaining
something
enough
she's-
for your mother? I'm just
I
kidding.
mean, I guess not. Probably not.
I mean, your mom was the one giving you tips about content creation. Why don't we interview your mom?
Oh, that would be actually interesting.
We should interview your mom because
Yeah?
she's doing it on TikTok. She's
Yeah,
been
she's a
TikTok
content
famous.
creator.
We should definitely interview your
Are
mom.
we going to have my mom on the podcast?
We're gonna have your mom on the podcast.
Holy shit.
I'm so excited
That
about
was
this.
going to be awesome.
How are we gonna do it though? Just have you and her in the same space?
No, I'll download Discord on her Mac.
Okay, but then what about her audio?
I'll figure it out.
Is
I'll
the
get her-
Mac
I'll
audio
get-
gonna be good?
I'll get her set up, and then I'll get it to where it needs to go.
Oh my god, I'm so excited to interview your mom. I'm not even kidding.
Oh my god, can I go ask her right now?
Why don't you just text her to come upstairs and ask her while we were on this recording?
Are we going to put this on the episode?
Why not?
Okay.
Because then they will either hear her reject us or hear her accept our offer to interview her. Why'd you text me? I'm not mommy. I'm daddy, remember?
I thought I actually did text you. I just checked my phone. Mom.
Shit. Mother. Mommy.
Mommy.
Mom.
Mirror.
Mirror.
I have an important question to ask you.
I'm surprised that she didn't hear it from where she is currently,
She
because
has
she
the
always
TV on.
hears the shit that you say.
She has
So then how'd she hear you talk about your height?
because you didn't have the TV on at that time.
Oh. I guess that's
Mom.
okay.
Hurry up. This is important.
Be nice to your mother.
I know. Me and my
You
mom have
better
that.
know.
Me and my mom have that relationship where I act like I'm being mean to her, but we both know that if I was actually like that, she would definitely kill me
you'd
and
get-
no one would find the body.
You would have your face licking the floor in a
Yeah.
heartbeat.
Absolutely.
And we're not even talking linoleum. We're talking straight dirt.
Yes.
And we're not talking the clean dirt. We're
Are you
talking
okay
about
with
cow
being
manure
on
dirt.
recording on the podcast right quick? No. But we have an
I like
actual
how she
question.
just giggled.
No,
she just giggled.
She said, "Am I getting paid?"
Oh. Yeah, with his money, not mine, because I'm broke.
Okay. All right. Wave at Anthony. Say hi.
Hi, Anthony.
Hi.
All right, Mom. We have a question for you.
Okay.
It's a very important question.
It's a very important question.
Oh, God.
The look on her face is absolute
I know.
confusion. I love it.
Would you like to be on our podcast? Because you're technically a content creator.
Sure.
I'm dead serious.
Sure.
She's not impressed. Oh, she said sure. She said sure. Sweet.
It'll be fun. Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be really fun.
We got to coordinate the logistics.
Yeah, we'll coordinate the logistics of it and everything.
I'll have my people get with your people.
All right, sounds good.
Give her our business email and I'll email her back.
Did you hear that?
Listen,
Oh my God.
we already got one email. And I'll be responding to him. I'm just saying.
That'll be
got
fun.
one.
Yeah, we've already got one email. He's responding to them, so
Oh.
we'll just.
Because we know what would happen
I'll
if
send you
Dylan
our
responded.
email so you can send it to your people, which is technically you, just under another name. And then, that'd be fun. I think that'd be really interesting.
I've been trying to tell you we need to do a show together, so.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, see? Exactly. Perfect opportunity to pilot it. I'm just
All right,
saying.
All right, get out.
Make this
Punch him. Punch him. Punch him. My God, I love your mom so
She's so
much.
cool.
She's great. She's fantastic.
What'd you
Oh,
say?
look at that.
Yeah, whatever.
We just secured our second guest ever on the podcast, right here on the
Live.
podcast. You heard it here, folks. Interviewing TikTok famous mother of Dylan.
Oh my
Lynxx.
God, this is gonna be interesting.
It's going to be a fun time.
Should we? No, we'll But that's gonna
So
be
yeah,
fun.
we just secured our second guest live right here on this podcast
That's gonna be fun.
during the podcast.
Wow.
I'm gonna have a little too much fun with that conversation. It's gonna be great. Don't worry, we'll still keep it profesh, but also
That's gonna.
I
be
got
fun.
I gotta get some of the deets.
the
you know?
deets.
I gotta get some of the deets.
I guess that would be like more of a chilled, laid back episode. I think. that'll be
We
fun.
still gonna have an outline.
Oh, I know.
Okay, good.
I wasn't ditching that one.
I know you won't, especially after the experience we had with Bree.
Whatever. All right.
But
all right,
we
what
were
else do
we were
got?
we were talking about dominating the conversation.
Oh yeah.
Because the key thing, especially when dominating the conversation comes into play, is when you don't have push to talk active. That's where you get
Yeah.
into trouble. Because you're constantly then talking over the other person.
Yeah.
And it's this back and forth, this tug of war that just doesn't end up enjoyable for anybody. And it makes it very confusing. It makes your audio cluttered. And it's not a fun time.
Yeah. No, it's not fun to edit either. It's not.
It's not fun to edit when the audio doesn't work properly.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's a shit show to edit.
Because it's one thing to dominate the conversation. It's another thing to interject when it seems appropriate to have that
Yeah.
kind of banter point. But it doesn't need to happen all the time.
Right. Yeah, it makes it clutter for like repairing audio and stuff. It's awful. It's so bad.
Just one of those things to keep in mind.
I was pulling hair out while trying to edit this episode.
I bet you were.
Yeah.
But the nice thing is you have your hair. You don't look like you're in pain. You
I'm healthy.
enjoyed yourself in London.
I did.
If you could, in your own words,
Okay.
describe collaboration for folks, what does that look like for you?
Oh, so in my own words, I would say collaborating like with like friends or like just people that in your circle, just having a good time, you know, like streaming wise, just having a good time, seeing where it goes, seeing what happens, but you know, just making sure you're all on the same page, you know. Other stuff like photography and videography, it's better to like collab. Like if you're collabing on an equal level, like your knowledge is as equal as the other person, it's a little tough because the ideas and creativity only go so far. But if you collab with someone that is more experienced in like photography and videography or many other things, it comes a lot faster and you learn a lot. So I think it's collaboration is outside of Twitch and YouTube. It's for knowledge and growth. Which, I mean, I guess that could tie into like Twitch and YouTube stuff. Which,
Yeah.
that would be more growth. But with my business, I think it's creativity and growth and knowledge.
So out of curiosity, have you gained any creativity, knowledge, or growth through our collaborations?
No, I feel like I've gotten dumber. I'm going to be honest. I have been sitting here losing brain cells since we started.
I hate you so much. You're such a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
You're such a butt. Can't even process this at any point. I think that collaboration can be a variety of things, and I think that first and foremost it has to be fun.
Yes.
But secondly, depending on the kind of collaboration you're doing, there needs to be some kind of organization or structure or some kind of guide so that you're not just... It's kind of like the saying, If you don't stand for anything, you'll fall. If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. If you don't have some kind of foundation to work with, then you're just constantly building dominoes that aren't on stable ground.
Yeah.
And the smallest sneeze, like when you started this episode, the smallest sneeze can easily offset your entire program or offset your entire shoot. I mean, it's an SD card that malfunctions. It's a computer that's not charged. It's a stream that's the audio is sounding wiry because something's going on in your audio settings. It's the mic peaking because you have it set too high. And it's all of those things. And so I think collaboration has some structure to it. It has a lot of fun to it. But at the end of the day, collaboration is all about building relationships and bonds and connections to help, like you said, build knowledge and gain creativity and learn in different aspects.
Yes. But yeah, no, I think we might be a good point. I think we covered everything.
I think so too, because to be completely honest, our first episode was great. I don't remember half of the crap we talked about.
Me neither.
If I'm being honest, this whole new episode was kind of like a new episode with some of the same stuff, but there were some new things that we discussed.
Yeah,
and your mom made a special appearance to be asked to be on the podcast.
Right. That's so crazy. Yeah, no, I was a little worried re-recording an episode that we already done, but I think it went a lot better than the first one, actually.
I think so too. I think that we had a little bit more
it.
energy. I think that's precisely it. Yeah, I don't really remember it either. It was a week ago, if we're honest. We recorded it on Tuesday afternoon last week. So,
and I was trying to edit it that night.
Yep. Also, fun fact, I didn't realize that when we release at midnight, we're releasing at midnight Central Time and not midnight Eastern.
Yep.
Which is sad because I can't do any of the fun things at midnight Eastern because it's 1 a.m. and I'm typically asleep by then. Sometimes, not all the time. Anyway, all that being said, I'm Anthony. You can find me over on Twitch and Twitter at AnthonysAwesome. You can find me on TikTok at AnthonysAwesomeTTV.
And I am Lynxx, a.k.a.
God damn, why
Dylan.
are you so close to the mic? You're just like
I
yelling
am
in my ear.
Lynxx, a.k.a.
That's
Dylan.
better.
You can find me on D_Lynxx on Twitch and Twitter. You can also find me, if you're interested in photography and videography, at Dylan_Cook_Productions, which I need to shorten that down because that is terrible.
That's for both his Instagram and his TikTok, by the way.
Yes, and my TikTok.
Don't forget to check out our socials.
Yes.
On Twitter, we're BTC Podcast GG. We are on YouTube. If you search Beyond the Controller Podcast, you'll find us, or it's youtube.com/@BTC Podcast. And then Twitter, we've already said it.
Yeah.
We're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. You know the drill.
Don't sound so nonchalant about it. We're on
Sorry.
Apple Podcasts. I think that's harder to get onto than Spotify Podcasts.
Yes, we are on Apple Podcasts, and we're on a weekly schedule now.
Yes.
Last week was a fluke.
We're trying.
Last week was a fluke. Yeah, so we're recording this episode, which is episode 4, and then we're recording episode 5 on Wednesday.
Yes.
It's gonna be a busy week for D.
Yes, it is. But yeah, all right. Well,
we'll see you next time.
All right.
In your ears and not in your tears. I don't know what I'm saying. Cut this out.
Bye.
Bye.